Hey everybody, it is Friday morning. Look at this fog here in Southern California as I'm getting ready to set up for the morning briefing. Got in late last night from Florida. It's great to be here because we have got so many stories we are following for you all, including that yellowfin tuna south of the border. Did it bite? Man, that's a nice grade of fish down there. Long range fishing's awesome right now. But we've also been fortunate enough to see some orcas here recently on board the Independence. We'll show you that. And of course, we've had local big swordfish. We've had all kinds of great bluefin tuna fishing. I'm going to feel the water temperature right now. Feels kind of warm because the air temp's a little cold maybe, but it feels good. There's some surffish biting and so much more. Let me get to it. It's time for the morning briefing. I'll be right back. Let's set her up now.
Whoa! Aaron almost went for a ride. Kyle, say hi to the audience. Nice one, Kyle. Whoa! I'm live, folks. Oh! Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California, here in Southern California on this foggy, kind of cold morning as we're almost bumping up against Halloween. Man, I'll tell you, it is nice to be back in SoCal. Flew in late last night from Orlando, Florida. I had a little layover in Dallas, Texas, and here I am back on the beach, ready to get you up to date on all that is going on. And man, is there a lot going on? Long range fishing, can it get any better? And what a show on the Orcas yesterday on board the Independence. Really fascinating stuff and great fishing down that way. That yellowfin tuna is located 150 miles south of the border for some of the San Diego-based boats, and they are getting them. That bluefin bite continues to bite out there around Tanner and Cortez and the Cherry Bank. That's been outstanding fishing. And local barracuda now, some white sea bass at Catalina Island, and so much more. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. So good to be back with you all. Thanks again for joining us here this lovely Friday morning. Big game starts tonight, or I should say the big series, Dodgers, Yankees. A fall classic that'll be remembered for a long time. Hope your team wins, and I hope it's a great series. It should be a lot of fun. If you don't mind, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it. When you do that, share these videos with a friend. Subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel and tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. That little bell, tick it right now, and we'll let you know when there's breaking news. Of course, you can also follow us over on Facebook. Highly recommend you do that. We have breaking stories there all the time. You can also catch the morning briefing there. Also over there on Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. It is great to be with you all. I haven't talked to Sam De La Torre. I just got in over there at Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California. But I am anticipating Tackle Shop Confessions this week, our live show on Monday night. But I still have to talk to Sam and confirm that. I'll let you know about that a little bit later on today. All right, my friends, let's jump into it. We've got so much to cover with you all. Let's just talk a little bit of Mexico Lindo and Cedro Sport Fishing continuing to pump out really nice yellowtail. Yellowtail action's been outstanding. Check out that 38-pound porky. That is one big yellow, and there's a lot of yellows biting there right now. But you can also have days where you catch halibut and you catch calico bass. There's a myriad of different angling opportunities available to you at Cedro Sport Fishing, principally the yellowtail, and the bite remains great, and it's been a great season down there for the wonderful folks at Cedro Sport Fishing. Good morning, Rosie. We'll bring you up to the Ensenada area, and that's 170 miles below the 170 miles. That's 70 miles down below the border. Tijuana, a 70-mile drive. and you're in beautiful Ensenada where rock fishing is outstanding. There's a little bit of offshore action, finding some bluefin tuna out there, but a lot of that rockfish dominating right now. Fishing's up and down in terms of the surface bite. Sometimes you can catch some yellowtail locally, but mostly the rockfish. Sometimes you'll catch some bass, but mostly the rockfish and lingcod there. And I'm going to jump you down 140 miles just to let you know that out of San Quintin, those guys have big yellowfin tuna, which I'm going to address here in a moment, in their sights. If you drive down to San Quintin, 140-mile drive, many of the operations down there are fishing that big yellowfin tuna, and it has been absolutely fantastic. Let's talk long range because it's been an outstanding season, and it just seems to get better and better and better and better. There's some lulls occasionally, but pretty steady wahoo fishing going on down there around the Lejos Rocks. It has been absolutely fantastic. We have an 8-day trip coming up on the Independence. Can't wait to see you all on that one. That's going to be a lot of fun. And also, I should mention to you that we have some openings on our April trip. April 25, we've got a 5-day trip in late April that promises to be a great trip. Hope you can join us on that one. But back to the long range team. Really good wahoo. Excellent yellowfin tuna fishing. The Spirit of Adventure yesterday had really great fishing on big grade yellowfin tuna, biting 100-pound. 100-pound mono or fluoro was getting bit as soon as you got it in the water. Voracious, excellent fishing for fish in the 50 to 100-pound class. It has been truly spectacular. And of course, you still have some really great yellowtail fishing, and then coming home, you'll roll into the coast sometimes, catch some white sea bass, some halibut, some sand and calico bass, kind of almost like a springtime bite on your way home. Doesn't happen every single time, but it's been good. What a show. A beautiful pot of orca coming so close to the Independence yesterday. Check that out. Soda Pop, a.k.a. Soda Pop. He's a great guy, and he shot some of this video and pointed out that it was such an encounter face-to-face with nature, and that is just some of the ancillary benefits you'll get from being in this game. The sport fishing game, going fishing, so many times you get to see some things that people just don't ever get to see. It is remarkable, and what a show on the Orcas yesterday. I gotta love that. All right, some of the boats continue to poke their nose out of Point Loma, and then they hang a left and run down about 150 miles. The Pacifica was one of those boats. Max Nui yesterday running the boat, and Max said, Phil, we had really good action down here, brisk action on yellowfin tuna, 50 to 100-pound fish. Excellent fishing for Max and the folks on the Pacifica. 50 to 100-pound yellowfin tuna. 150 miles from San Diego. Those are long-range size fish. Max said all day long, biting a 60-pound fluorocarbon, a fly line hot bait, and you were on, man, and that is great fishing. The new Loan, as we roll some footage from a recent trip that they were on, and we rolled that as we entered into today's report. Man, beautiful grade fish on the new Loan. And most of the boats that are headed down that way have been partaking of this great fishing. Now, another thing that Max over on the Pacifica pointed out, that yellowfin is what they are targeting. However, Max said, you know what? There's a lot of really big bluefin tuna down here that just don't want to bite. One of these days, man, that might get on the chew. And if that mixes with that YFT, that's going to be absolutely spectacular. 68-degree water temperature, just right. And man, excellent fishing on that big grade yellowfin tuna. Long range size fish there, only 150 miles from San Diego. And also, I'm wondering about that big bluefin that Max said he was looking at. That is intriguing. Hopefully that's going to get going here very, very soon. Let's go out to Tanner Cortez Bank and check that out there on the Cherry Bank closer to San Nicolas Island. Still really steady bluefin tuna fishing. May not be something you would describe as wide open, but steady, excellent fishing on the BFT 30 to 40 pound stuff. Every once in a while, you get fish up over the 100-pound mark. The Tribute with another great trip here recently as they have been doing fantastic on board the Outer Limits. Jesus Motorcito. Jesus said that, man, yesterday's evening bite was fantastic. He lost 3 fish, got one, but I got to love Jesus because some guys would say, oh, man, I lost 3 fish, blah, blah, blah. Life's coming to an end. It's horrible. Not Jesus, man. He said he was blessed to have the opportunity to get into such a great bite, fish on a great boat like the Outer Limits, and have another awesome experience. Bluefin tuna bite has been excellent. Sometimes that fish can get finicky. We call these plunker bites the way most of them have been manifesting themselves. So we're talking about 2, 3 fish going, maybe 4, maybe none, and then maybe up to 6, like that. You're not bending the whole boat. So in those kind of bites, sometimes you're going to have to drop down to 25-pound fluorocarbon, a smaller hook like a number 4 circle hook, and as always, choose a really good hot bait. Sometimes you can up your game and up to the 40-pound fluoro, maybe even heavier than that, but you're going to have to be really observant, keep your eyes on everything, and that is the way to make things happen for you. Hey, tax problems, give our friend Tim Marquez a call right now. Tim will handle it all for you. And for heating and or air conditioning needs, it's John Lopez out of Fishing Heating and Air Conditioning. All right, really good stuff in terms of our tuna bite here in the Southern California areas. We're pushing up toward Halloween right now. It's hard to believe. And you know what that means? We're pushing up toward Thanksgiving and Christmas. It'll be here before you know it. All right, I'll stop. I don't want to rush it in here too quick. But, man, this year is absolutely flying by. I see a couple guys down here in the haze, and there's only one kind of person that would be out in this weather. 2 crazy enough to be out. Me and probably some guys surf fishing. So we'll see if they walk into the frame, and we'll yell out to them and see if they're catching any fish. All right, let's talk the islands right now. And we'll start at the Coronado Islands with the San Diego on their last trip out of C4 Sport Fishing in beautiful San Diego at 16 yellowtail. A lot of fly line yellows now. It's mixed up with some yo-yo ironfish, which are heavy jigs that you sink deep, wind on fast, and also some dropper loop fish with an 8-ounce torpedo sinker down deep with a good hot bait. So it's a mix with a lot more fly line fish. It's almost like we're having a late spring or something. And I'll talk more about that because there's barracuda starting to show up here in the LA Orange County area. It's really a weird year so far. So good stuff. And once again, we're happy to see it. Once again, those island yellowtail, I want to say on an average day, you're going to catch from 5 to maybe 20 of those yellowtail right now. It's an absolutely phenomenal year. It was fantastic at the Coronado Islands. There's also some other stuff that you can catch, some rockfish, lingcod. So you do have an opportunity at that. But most of those guys are honed in, are focused in on catching yellowtail. Bring a variety of tackle. Sometimes they'll bite the heavier line. Other times you're going to have to drop it down and go to the finesse. And as always, choosing a really good hot bait makes all the difference in the world. We'll bring you up to San Clemente Island and check that out for you. And there's occasional yellowtail and sea bass and a few barracuda, mostly rockfish there. At Catalina Island, the Pursuit had a couple of halibut and white sea bass, but mostly the rockfish biting there. Don't forget the El Patron heads out to Catalina Island where they're fishing the deep water cod right now. 300 feet or deeper, 16-ounce torpedo sinker, absolutely necessary. 40-pound Ganyan 2-hook rig is what you want to fish while you're out there because you're catching these big bocacios and big reds, and it's been fantastic. El Patron is going this weekend. www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Get on the El Patron, taking a look at San Nicolas Island. Great sheephead, excellent whitefish, wonderful deep water cod up there in that neck of the woods. Also, and we'll ride you up to the Channel Islands where we've seen nothing short of excellent fishing. A few days ago, Tucker McCombs had 28 white sea bass. Some squid starting to move into the Channel Islands, so look out. I mean, we're due for another sea bass explosion endeavor. Ventura Sport Fishing, Tucker does it all the time. For the most part, the boys up there are fishing the deep water cod, also doing great. But you do see an occasional bite on halibut. The Aloha Spirit's picking up some halibut on a fairly regular basis. The Island Spirit has been all over the big cod, and Daniel Hottaway is going to be out this weekend. He's got some great trips in store for you. Ventura Sport Fishing, don't miss it. They're going to be out this weekend. And don't forget, kids fish free on Sunday. So that is indeed something for you. As we say, buenos dias to Valentino. Buenos dias, mi hermano. There he goes. All right, working hard out here. As always, love Valentino. Great guy. All right, so great rockfish up there. Island Spirit 805 676 3474 or go to VenturaSportFishing.com. Santa Barbara, good rockfish up there. Avila Beach, Morro Bay, same kind of thing going on. San Francisco with some great stuff. The new Ray Ann had 15 guys out of San Francisco, and they had 150 rockfish, 18 lingcod, just 17 pounds up there in that area, so not bad at all. Along the Southern California coast, I'm talking half-day boats, three-quarter-day boats. Most of the guys are in on that big rockfish. We do see some good bass fishing out of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, a lot of catch and release because they're shorts, but we've had a flash of barracuda. I mean, guys are fishing the cod here in the Long Beach area. The Victory, for example, out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, they ended up with 50 barracuda yesterday. We didn't see our barracuda bite manifest itself this year at all. It was a very disappointing year in terms of a springtime bite on barracuda. So what is going on? I ask you. We've seen this kind of before. It's not that great of an anomaly, but it's interesting to see it. We've seen the Monte Carlo get in on this barracuda bite. Some bass fishing going on. As I told you, I put my little tootsies in the water a moment ago, and it felt warm. You know, I mean, at least mid-60s. Maybe a little better than that. It's nice right now, and that warm water can get this kind of thing going. Ironfish for sure. The barracuda love to bite on the iron. Sometimes, most of the time, it's a medium kind of wind on the jig. Not too fast. Sometimes you can really slow it down, and those gar will bite it. They love that kind of just slow motion, wagging its tail of the jig. A Tatty 45 will work really good, but a lot of other jigs also can be very effective. So that is good to see. And again, a little bit of bass out of Marina Del Rey. The twilight trips have been pretty darn good. So that is something you can take advantage of. Also, not bad at all. In the Southern California surf, got to send you down to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, right there on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. They're giving away a free custom surf fishing rod every single month if you catch the big one. And you can get all those details by walking in the store. You got to buy the ruler there. Once you buy the ruler, there's no more cost, and it's every month a new species and a new custom rod. Maybe for you this month. Go to Big Fish Bait and Tackle to get all the details. Bar perch fishing pretty good down there around Huntington Beach. We've seen some yellowfin croaker here in Surfside. I've been talking to a few of the boys here that were walking the surf before I set up this morning, and they've caught a couple of yellowfin croaker here. And there's been still some corbina around with this warmer water. That wouldn't shock me to see that happening. In fact, RK Toji up there in the Santa Monica Bay with some nice corbina here recently. So that is certainly something good to see. Hopefully we'll see more of that in our future. And again, that lighter line and a good sand crab is a way to catch those corbina. A long cast, still producing some spot fin croaker down there on Anderson Street, Pacific Coast Highway. That's a really good spot. Make a long cast. And those fish, the spot fin croaker, they're bait biters. They don't bite artificials very often at all. But you make a long cast, even on the low tide, and you can come up with some pretty darn good fish. All right, my friends, barracuda are biting. What's going on, man? I might have to go up there and give that a shot. Some excellent big yellowfin tuna max on the Pacific. A new low end, evidence of that, and other boats in on it. That Orca show was absolutely fantastic. And of course, we're watching that and everything for you all. I'll let you know about Tackle Shop Confessions and see if we're going to be able to do a live show this week over there at Island Fishing Tackle. I sincerely hope so. I've missed you all on that show. And of course, I hope to see you really, really soon.